What's going on, everyone? Aaron here from Happy Hydro, and this week we're checking out the Tray2Grow from Autopot. Now, this automated watering system has a bunch of different functions to fit your grow style or what you're even trying to grow. Well, either way, they got you covered, so let's go check it out. And don't forget to support us and our channel by getting all of your indoor gardening supplies at happyhydro.com. And please like this video and subscribe to our channel for more gardening content. Oh man, I know we've all been here. You're gone for a couple days. You turn around and forget to water your very precious microgreens or other houseplants, and then bam, they're gone. They're shriveled up. It's unbelievable. But don't worry, you don't have to live like this. This is what I'm talking about. Here it is, the Tray2Grow from Autopot. Now, if you guys are familiar with Autopot, you know these watering systems are incredible time savers and even life savers, because what they do is they have your plants tell them how thirsty they are, and this is an automatic watering system which helps you in any grow style. Now, if you're used to using the regular Autopot systems like the one-pot systems, this is the same but a little different. It's more like an open world for growing, because it's the tray area, and what you can do with that is 5 different main uses, such as just regular pots and plants, their built-in planter, or a grow bag, or even some of their smaller seed trays and microgreens. But enough about that, let's crack into this bad boy and see what it's all about. Now right here, this is what I'm talking about. So for every application but the grow bag, this is gonna be your best friend. And this is the Capillary Mat that comes standard with the Tray2Grow from Autopot. Not only do you get the incredible Capillary Mat standard, it comes with a bunch of other things to help you have a successful grow. I mean, for starters, we have the standard setup guide, which is really helpful for deciding which way that you want to use your Tray2Grow system. Alright, and these are actually some of the grow spikes which are used for the grow bag style. Also in this bag you have a bunch of fittings that come standard as well. We'll get into that a little bit later. There's your aquavalve, some copper slug resistant taping, which I think is an incredible thing to include. I never would have thought about that by myself, but I'm so happy it's here, especially if you use these out in your garden. You have some 8mm tubing, which is going to help connect your system to the actual reservoir in which you want to use it with. We have some wicks, a click fit adapter, and everything else you need to get this thing up and running immediately. It's not hard to put together. If I can do it, you absolutely can do it. Now I just got to find a place to put it. Well, this one I thought I was going to use in my 2x4 tent because it fits absolutely perfectly, but I ended up moving it to my Grower's Choice Grow Pod. If you don't know about that, check out our video on that because it's a really cool piece of tech for vegetative and cloning stages. But I have it set up just a little bit, so I'm gonna go into the directions, and like I said, it's super easy to put together. It is just a couple pieces, but each of them matter and they make your system run flawlessly. So the first thing I'm gonna take a look at is adding my actual aquavalve to the system. The aquavalve is, I would say, close to the brains and the heart of the whole operation. So first we gotta make sure this is watertight. And here you can see the access point for where the aquavalve lives. And I'm just gonna go ahead and insert my 3/8 grommet into there because that's gonna make sure that that tubing can go in and it's gonna be a watertight seal. Just like that, baby, it's already go time. And just a heads up, this next part is a little tricky because it's such a tight squeeze, but I get my way through there, and it's just kind of getting it along enough so that it can attach to the actual aquavalve itself. Now the key to this point is there's a little T marking in the bottom of the reservoir, and where my thumb is right now, there's a little outcrop of the actual aquavalve itself. That little outcrop is going to fit right over that T spot so that it's a snug, tight fit and you're not having that aquavalve move around. Next, I'm going to put on this little screw guy, which is going to make sure I have a super tight connection from my inline tubing to my aquavalve, and it's a real tight squeeze. Like I said, this is a really good built operation because everything's super tight fitting, so I have a lot of trust and faith into this system. We're just going to screw that up there, and you can see it's a really nice snug fit. So just cruising along here, an important thing to remember about the Tray2Grow is to make sure it's on a level surface. So we're going to take these circular spirit levels and just pop these into the places that they are marked for, and that's just going to make sure that wherever you place your Tray2Go, it's nice and flat and even, so you don't have to worry about it malfunctioning. So we have another grommet here, and this is the 1/4 inch grommet. So what it does is it goes on the outside of the end of the tray. So if you're using it in an outdoor setting, you're able to uncork that so that if it does rain, you're not going to have it overflow. So it's kind of like a fail-safe to make sure that your plants are getting watered properly and the system's working optimally. So we got most of the components on. I'm just gonna toss this cap on real quick while we get going. And like I said, this is that copper slug resistant tape, so if you do have your Tray2Grow outside, you're gonna wanna put that around the edges. These are those grow spikes, like I said. They come with the wick. So this wick is just gonna be kind of integrated with the grow spike, kind of like how you're seeing here. And what that does is it wicks up that moisture from those channels and brings it into those grow bags. So what you're gonna do is you have a grow bag, you're just gonna toss it right on those spikes. It's gonna puncture the bag and it's gonna release that moisture right into the soil from the system itself. It's super cool idea because it's a really low maintenance and you're really just plopping a bag on there and getting it to grow. Next we have these seed trays, which you can either start seeds in them, or if you snag some flats from your local garden center, you can pop them right in there. Here, I'm just tossing some hemp mats and also just some different type of microgreens I have going on, and I'm just gonna start growing with them, making sure we properly moisten them so that they all pop at the same rate. If you guys haven't seen any microgreens videos, check out ours on our Happy Hydro page. It's a lot of fun. So here we can see that I've transferred my Tray2Grow into my grow pod because it also happens to work perfectly in here, which is super cool to find out. But all my levels are showing that I am flat and sturdy. So it's time to get going and start getting some seeds in here. But we have a couple things to do first. We're not there yet. All right, let's get that capillary mat in. So one thing to be reminded of in this process is to make sure that we're tucking some of that capillary material into those deep outer channels. And then we're gonna make sure it's well moistened so that it gets that capillary action moving. Next, we didn't see this earlier, but this is like a copper root lining. This just protects the system from getting overrun by the roots of your plants. We're gonna pop that on there and also make sure that that's pretty well moistened. The only thing that this system doesn't come with is a reservoir. I opted for the 13-gallon FlexiTank Pro, just because it's a lot easier to use and I love the Pro series, but I have it all filled up and I'm connected, and you can see here what goes on behind the scenes of this aquavalve. It's filling up with water, it's shutting off when it's reaching that maximum level, and it's good to go. I'm gonna pop this tray lid back on. Another style you can use is the Microgreens tray, and I'm just gonna use straight soil in there, and these Microgreens trays are really cool because they're a lot more shallow than the seed trays. So you don't have to worry about the root structures because you're not keeping them in there that long. So here, these are the seed trays that I was talking about. And then we'd go into the microgreens trays. And finally, another way even more is their planter, which is a nice fabric pot planter that you set up yourself, and it's really easy to use, especially if you're using bigger style plants. And I mean, look at these little guys. We're absolutely blasting off. I mean, these microgreens are crushing it in this Tray2Grow right now. It's incredible, and it's so hands-off. It's so easy to use. I'm having such a good time growing these little guys. Like a sea of green and purple. It's beautiful. And don't forget, you can get the Tray2Grow and other indoor gardening supplies at happyhydro.com. Wow. Whether you're growing in an actual grow bag, the planter, some microgreens, whatever you have planned, they do such a good job of making sure that those plants are optimally watered no matter what, and on their own schedule. That's the best part. Well, that's all I got for this time. Catch you next video. And as always, stay happy, friends.